honestly, the first time I went to Puerto Escondido was one of the wildest things I'd ever seen. Because I had surfed good waves. I have never seen a beach break do that, ever. Even still, with all the years after I was 16 or 17, and my brother and I went, and it was, it's hard to fathom. Waves were so fucking good, it was crazy. The wind was howling offshore. I remember opening the window and watching like a 6-foot peak just go. Like, and then another one. I got so barreled. That was technically the first time I ever got a really, really crazy long barrel backside. And in 1986, our neighbor up the street, this guy Greg Little, invited my brother and I, because I was 10, Josh was 12, and it's crazy, we didn't wear leashes back then. Well, because he took a trip with his friend down the Sunset Cliffs. He had met this kid at 6th grade camp named Ben Murphy, who was like a local at New Break. New Break, they don't let you wear a leash.
Yeah.
It's like the rule of surfing that wave. And he was paddling out, and this guy Gephardt, who's like famous for making fins, paddled up and grabbed his leash. He said, "I'll take that fucking thing off if you want to surf here." So Josh went in and took his leash off. And then he came home and he's like, "We can't wear leashes anymore." But the first time I surfed blacks, I didn't take my leash. It was this really beautiful, like, kind of late spring, early summer day. The water was crystal clear. And there were like hundreds and hundreds of leopard sharks kind of everywhere, and they were all inside the chuck holes, which is like on the inside, so if you lose your board would wash over the top of these deep spots. But the water was like crystal clear and there were sharks everywhere. Holy shit. So I was freaking out because I'd lose my board and it'd sit, you know, in the deep spots, and I'd be swimming in just like, ah, there's sharks everywhere on the street. Kevin and I have been surfing together since like, shit, I think I met him in 5th grade.
Do you think you got him in longboarding, or he was already?
Oh, 100%. He bought my brother's old Takayama in 1989. Josh had an 8.8, I think, and he sold it to Devin, and that was the beginning of Devin riding a longboard. Absolutely, fucker owes me for life.
What do you think about Richard Kevin?
Oh, he was incredible. My God, he was one of the best surfers. He still is one of the greatest surfers ever out of San Diego.
Did it start that he beat Tom Curry in a final in a contest in
No. You've got it totally backwards. He beat Aki. He beat Aki when Aki came to America and was revered as the greatest upcoming surfer of the time. And he kicked his ass twice. And then Aki came out of the water and made the famous quote, "Fucking American wankers." And he said it about Richard Kenman because they went to interview him because he's fucking American wankers, and he walked away. And that was about Richard Kenman. Because Richard Kenman, like 5 years earlier, had won the Stubbies trials. I think it was in 1978 or 79. He was 16, and it was held at Blacks, and he won on a caster single fin with no leash.
But was Tom Curry in the final, no?
I don't know if Curran was in the final.
I think it was Tom Curry in the final. That's what
I thought it was somebody else, but I know that he won the Stubbies trials, and then he got invited to go to Australia to surf the Stubbies at Burleigh, and he was there for the famous 60-day cyclone. It was a cyclone that lasted 60 days. It just kept getting pulled out to sea and spinning, and spinning, and spinning, and he would tell me the story all the time. I still have the utmost respect for the guy. Like, unbelievable. The shit I watched that guy do growing up is just insane.
Hey guys, Wes here from Coastal Edge, and today we have a special guest. We have Joel Tudor, and we're going to talk about some of Joel's specific surfboards, and we're excited to have Joel this week. But anyway, Joel, tell us a little bit about the boards and how they function, what the design is.
So this was the SYG model. It was actually, the guy that shaped for me is a guy named Joe Blair, who was one of Dick Brewer's early proteges in the late 60s and 70s. And he did a ton of these miniature longboard style boards for the Brewer label back then. Obviously, you know, most people associate longboards with being over 9 feet long, where before the kind of mid to late 1980s, everything was under 9 feet. They were in like a miniature size. They're great for short interval wind swell type waves, just because you're up quick and the wave kind of ends quick. So these things are incredibly fast. But this was spec'd off of one of those boards that Blair made way back when, and then we just made some changes and did a couple things. Like this little leg, we call it football channel. It's kind of like up in the center. It used to be kind of rounded and looked like a little football, but we sort of kept it straight so that when you're standing on the front half, because channels are normally associated with speed and make you go faster. So just getting in that little like trim spot of standing right here, not necessarily getting all the way to the nose, but just trying to make it through sections and turn. That's what this model was based on. For me, it's kind of a great all-around surfboard. Longboards can be limiting. If it gets too big, you can't really ride them the way you want to, but this is sort of like an in-between. You can ride them in small waves or big waves. So it's the perfect kind of one-board quiver for the person that's not wanting to ride something too small and not something too big. I got the period correct leash plug. I did this for a reason because a lot of times with the drill throughs, it puts a hole in the box where it's kind of far forward and you can't move the fin all the way to the back to adjust. So a lot of the boards at that period of time, like that late 70s, early 80s longboards, all had these sort of cups. I don't wear a leash very often, but a lot of people do. So I put them in there so you have the option, and then it doesn't eliminate the space in the back of the box.
Yeah, a lot of people really like putting their fins all the way back too. Yeah. So with that rope knot sitting there.
Yeah, it just gives you a little extra play area, and you know, just the slightest movement of the thing can make a difference. I'm sure Wes knows. You get a set of fins put on a board in the wrong spot, and it can make it go from magic to
absolutely makes or breaks a board.
Yeah.
I see you hanging around. You wanna ride in my big black car, baby. Wanna go uptown, yeah. I know who you are, baby. And I know what they call you, girl. Never put you down, baby. I'm just like you, baby. I'm in the mood. And every night I hunt you.
dude, what do you mean put it back? I'm fucking 15 years old, I'm wearing my cord, you know? And he's like, no. He goes, if you're gonna surf sunset, I need to know that if your leash breaks, you're not gonna drown. He's like, so if you can't swim, then you could just sit in and watch. He's like, you can't surf if you're gonna wear that leash, take it off. So I stopped wearing a leash.
How old were you?
I was 15. 15. I was 14 the first time I went. The second winter I was 15 and I had no parental supervision whatsoever. Child endangerment. Like someone could call Child Protective Services for that shit. But at that era, like that era of the North Shore, he just wanted to make sure that he didn't have to come rescue me if we were out there together, you know?
Did you lose your board?
Multiple times. But he taught me where to go. How to swim, and he's like, never swim for the channel. Whatever you do, he's like, you'll get sucked on the cam. He's like, I'll definitely have to come get you. He's like, if you're gonna swim, put your head down, take 2 or 3 on the head, and you'll end up inside of valves. You'll swim your way in. That's what I used to do every time. I didn't wear a leash of pipeline until 4 years ago. 4 winters ago was the first time I wore a leash. I went 31 winters without a leash.